Everybody, Michael here with another replica airguns indoor field test shooting video here in the Sea-Can. Weather's getting a little cooler, that's why I'm wearing the toque, but it's pretty warm in here actually. We're probably up in the average room temperatures. I'm going to say roughly 24 degrees Celsius, which is probably pretty close to 70, maybe just under. Have to do the math there, figure it out. But anyways, we're going to put, we have these, what are they again? I can't remember, 9-shot, 2, 4, 6, 8. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, 9-round magazines. Now, when I did do my field tests or my tabletop video, I showed loading them from the other side. But when you put the scope on, you can't do that anymore. It just won't work. You kind of have to load them in this way. It's a little different, but it does work. So you have to pull that back, and then you have to load it in from this side, other way around. Let's see here. I got to remember how to do it. Yes, you kind of go from the top like this, so you got to put this little groove on the front, and you load it from the top, and you angle it in until it's in the down position. So you can't do it from the other side like I was showing you, where you sort of slide it in and fold it the other way, because it hits the scope. So keep that in mind if you watch my tabletop video and you're wondering how to put these magazines in. You have to do it from the other side and kind of leverage it the other way, but it does work just fine. So right now we're going to put some rounds through the chronograph. We're going to just get 5 good, reasonable FPS tests here. So I do have a 9-round magazine. If we need them all, we'll use them all. I just want to see what we get here. I do have brand new CO2 cartridges. I'm using the twin 12 grams. I have placed 9 shots through this gun already with this CO2 setup, with the new CO2, but it's warmed up. I've given the gun lots of time in between. I just wanted to sight the scope in so that when I do my actual test, we're pretty close to that bullseye, and we are pretty tight in there, so we should see, most of the shots getting in the bullseye, I'm hoping anyways. So for now, we are gonna place some rounds through the chrony and just see what kind of feet per second we get here. All right, shot number 1, 451. By the way, I am using probably somewhere between 7 and 8 grain Sig Sauer lead pellets. Okay, so they're not the lightweight ones. They're the typical pellets you're going to be using with a gun like this that I would use. 451, go error. Okay, that's all right. Let's do another one. Okay, let's reset this. I'll try getting a little bit further back, maybe. Sometimes. Get this all lined up. There we go. .443, pretty close. Duplicate, 443. .442, very consistent. Duplicate, 442, so we just dropped like 1 FPS between 4 shots there. 444. I'm just going to keep shooting until we're empty. Why not? 443. And that's it. We're out. Okay. So very consistent. I think 451. So this gun's capable of about 450 feet per second using the standard. I'm going to say 7 to 8 gram. These are the Sig Sauer match precision wad cutters. What I might do is I might put it on screen what the actual grams are or grain is of this pellet. I'm going to assume somewhere around 7 to 8 grain. But that's typical for a lighter weight wad cutter type pellet. All right, so we're going to set up a brand new paper target. We're going to set it up 30 feet downrange. I know it's not a really far test for this gun. This gun's really probably more going to be suitable for 50 to 100 feet, something like that. But if we can get a really tight group using this 4-power optical scope, that should give us an idea of what it can do, further out as well. All right, so I'm going to set that target up and see what we get with the Fusion 2. All right, I've got my fresh paper target set up 30 feet downrange. Again, not that far, but let's see how tight of a group I can get. Hopefully I can get them all within ½ an inch or maybe even better. This gun was performing pretty decent for me. So let's just find out what we can do. I'm going to take my time. Let's see if we can get them all in the bullseye. We're going to do all 9 rounds because that's all we got in this 9-round magazine. Hold that one a little bit, I feel. That was good. That might be it. Getting close. There he is. Okay, bring it up with us. This gun really feels good. Trigger could maybe be a little lighter, but it's not bad. All right, so I think the paper kind of ripped. That's what that is. So I'm gonna say all of these rounds were within ½ an inch easily, okay? All right about here. That one maybe I pulled, that was the one maybe that I pulled there, but I felt like most of them were right where pretty much I was aiming, dead center. Obviously, I could maybe bring it just slightly to the right, but I think elevation-wise, it's good, at least at this range. Further out ranges, I'm going to probably want to, well, you never know, because what's happening is I've got the barrel aimed slightly up, because what the scope is kind of aimed down a bit so that I'm not shooting here, because the scope in relation to the barrel, here's the scope, the barrel's down here. So obviously the barrel's raised. So at, say, 50 feet, I might be shooting high, but then at, say, 100 feet, I might be shooting back on target or even low. So depending on the range that I'm going to shoot this gun at, I'm going to have to figure out, you know, if I want to use this for target practice at further ranges or maybe even small pest control, because this gun is definitely very accurate, as you can see. You know, for pest control, I could have got headshots at 30 feet all day long with this gun. You know, shoulder headshots on even really small game would have been no problem. So this is a nice little pest control gun. And, you know, typically for me, if I'm shooting pests, I'm not going to be shooting like little, you know, rats and things at 50 feet away. I'd be camped out somewhere on my deck or something, or around my deck, because they kind of like to go to we have like a little area where we put our compost, and I like to go in there and get our, you know, the compost and stuff. So if I'm camped out on the far side of the deck, it's about 30 feet away from where the rats would be. This would be perfect. And it's not overly powerful. I don't have to worry too much about, you know, shooting through them and hitting things that I shouldn't be hitting, or the pellet going really far or hitting things out, you know, where they shouldn't be. So this would be great for close shooting, or, you know, 30 to 50 feet out, small game would be perfect. It's literally a little tack driver. Super ergonomic. The 9-round magazine is really nice. The fact that you can use dual 12 gram, which keeps the shot consistency higher than a single 12 gram for sure, or even an 88 gram CO2 if you plan on doing a lot of shooting. You know, throughout the day, you can put an 88 gram in there and get, you know, at least a good 100 shots with this gun. All right, so anyways, really like this gun. The price is right, the features are right, comes with a scope. You really don't need anything other than CO2 and pellets, and you're ready to go. So again, make sure to watch out the tabletop review for the Umarex Fusion 2. This is definitely a winner in my books. Again, the only thing I would suggest, maybe it'll work in a little bit, is the trigger. I wouldn't mind if it was just a tad lighter, but it's not bad. Slight, you know, just a little tiny bit of getting used to it, where the break point is and how much pressure you need to apply. But overall, it's, you know, it's a great bolt action rifle that, you know, again, has these magazines, double included magazines coming with it. Just remember, you gotta load them right, otherwise you're gonna be hitting the scope if you try to load it from the other way. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You know, again, if you're interested in it, this product is available in our Canada or US store over at replicairguns.ca for Canada, replicairguns.us for the US. Now, I remember I was going to talk about how quiet it is. It's very quiet. So I'm not going to say there's any type of suppression going on in here. In Canada, suppressors are not allowed, but I can tell you that it is, you know, it is really quiet. So it's not a super loud gun if that's a concern for you. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.